Hi, I'm John Tour, the CMO at Cloudian. Thank you for joining for this overview of Cloudian Hyperscale AIDP, a revolutionary new storage platform. It's the storage that understands your data. This half-hour presentation will be a quick look at the basics you need to know about this product. The basic pitch, the market opportunity, what to look for in a customer, and of course a little bit about the product itself. Before we dive into AIDP, let me share a quick overview of Cloudian. Cloudian was founded in 2011 and specializes in modern data management platforms, including S3 native object storage that's exabyte scalable and delivers industry-leading performance. The Cloudian platform simplifies storage management with a scalable architecture that enables data consolidation enterprise-wide. This consolidation is particularly important in AI, where complex workflows can otherwise lead to multiple storage platforms that add to management workload and require ongoing storage migrations. Cloudian partners with leaders, including Nvidia for AI and AWS for on-prem cloud, including AWS Outposts and local zones. And for infrastructure, we partner with Supermicro, Lenovo, and HPE, among others. The Nvidia partnership is especially relevant for this topic. We've been a development partner with Nvidia for 2 years, jointly working on object storage initiatives, including the development of RDMA for S3 compatible storage, which has led to breakthrough performance for object storage. And of course now, working together on the AI data platform, an integrated solution for on-prem AI. So let's start with the quick pitch for Hyperscale AIDP. Hello, Mr. Customer. Hyperscale AI Data Platform, or AIDP, transformed your storage from simply storing and retrieving data to storing and understanding your data, so you can ask questions about it through a natural language chatbot. So here's an example. You ingest a user manual into your system. With traditional storage, you would store that data and retrieve it. That's it. With AIDP, you can now ask questions about that information. How do I add new users? How do I set a storage policy? And in return, you can get step-by-step answers in natural language. AIDP is implemented by Hyperstore, integrated with NVIDIA's AI blueprints. Each NVIDIA AI blueprint is a complete AI solution with models and all supporting software, all inclusive, no additional model training required. First up are solutions that understand enterprise documents and audio. Video files are coming shortly. And after that, there are 30 more blueprints right behind them with applications such as medical imaging. The AIDP solution includes GPU-based compute servers that sit alongside Hyperstore. This appliance-based solution is fully supported and runs completely on premises. If you prefer, we can also deploy the solution in a managed service provider or in AWS. The need for this is that 80% of enterprise data is unused by AI systems. Your company has a treasure trove of institutional knowledge, reports, manuals, presentations, policies, communications. All of that cannot be accessed by AI because it's siloed or it can't leave the premises for security reasons. Hyperscale AIDP unlocks that treasure trove of data while keeping it exactly where it belongs, securely on-prem. We can run a proof of concept on this platform now, either in AWS or in a service provider of your choice, and we can use our test data or yours, your choice. Either way, you'll instantly see the value of applying Hyperscale AIDP to your enterprise knowledge to increase your worker productivity and the value of your AI infrastructure. Or if you like, you can shorten that down to one sentence. Hyperscale AIDP transforms decades of institutional knowledge into instantly accessible AI insights through a familiar chatbot interface, deploying enterprise AI in hours, not months, while maintaining complete data sovereignty. This solution is compelling today because ultimately AI value is driven by the data that the AI system has to work from. Public AI is trained using public data. The largest models are trained with about 135 terabytes of data from the internet. Enterprise AI, on the other hand, is driven by the value of internal data, and that's a vastly larger data set. Roughly 29 billion terabytes of data are now held by enterprises. That's data that's not being used in today's AI and represents a gold mine of information that an on-prem AI solution can capitalize on. And customers need a solution to this problem right now. 86% of companies are seeking answers on how they can better utilize AI in their businesses. But there's a high cost of doing AI in the cloud, and there's a high risk of doing internal projects. And ultimately, whatever you do, data sovereignty becomes a concern. One service provider CEO told me that his financial customers cannot send any data to the cloud. And the reason is because CIOs recognize that data security in public AI is an obstacle. But they also know that the internal data, that proprietary data, is where the value ultimately lies. So what is the solution to these problems? The solution is Cloudian Hyperscale AIDP, an on-prem infrastructure of a complete solution stack, including software, hardware, and support, all integrated, all tested, all sold by one supplier, all supported by one supplier. Let's take a look at the individual components in a little bit more depth here. The complete stack consists of a GPU server with either 4 or 8 Nvidia RTX Pro GPUs and dual Xenon processors, Nvidia Spectrum switch for networking, Cloudian Hyperstore, all flash-based storage systems to provide the back-end object storage, and then the Cloudian software suite that consists of Nvidia AI Enterprise software, Cloudian AI Data Management, a GPU-optimized vector database, and then pre-configured AI application blueprints from Nvidia. And all of this is covered by Cloudian Hypercare support with 24/7 service with remote monitoring and expert guidance. The heart of the solution are the Nvidia blueprints. These AI solutions are 35 pre-built AI workflows representing hundreds of thousands of GPU and engineering hours to create. These are validated software, hardware, and deployment workflows that are offered by select Nvidia partners. Cloudian has a support agreement with Nvidia providing you with end-to-end support for each of these solutions. Example blueprints include streaming data, financial fraud detection, healthcare, and video search and summarization. And the beauty is that they all run on any of the Cloudian AIDP platforms. This represents an ecosystem of software and hardware that will continually grow over time to provide more value from the AIDP solution. Let's look at two examples of these blueprints. The first would be an enterprise knowledge chatbot, a chatbot that can take in information in document form or audio form and provide real-time answers in natural language. Consider how this might be used by a support team. You can bring in product documentation and call transcripts all into a single environment, and then provide that support team with real-time answers as they ask questions about those documents. So not only are they getting accurate information that can be verified right back to the source document, but it's also provided in a timely way, as those documents can be updated at any time to make sure that the support operators are getting the latest information. The video analysis blueprint allows you to take in video information either from a real-time feed or from recorded information to provide a way of both analyzing and providing alerting based on that information. So you can provide instructions in a natural language and then get responses back, either in the form of alerts or in the form of text. So an example might be monitoring a factory floor process flow where you're looking for anomalies, or perhaps monitoring a construction site looking for safety challenges like people not wearing hard hats. Either way, you can provide instructions using natural language and get answers back or alerts back in the way that you prefer. The beauty of this is that with the blueprints, you're not experimenting with AI, you're actually implementing proven AI solutions that NVIDIA engineers have validated. This completely eliminates the risk and complexity of custom AI development and also provides a roadmap for the future because these blueprints are continually being evolved and further developed over time. So one question you may ask is, why use object storage with AI? It's ideal for AI for a number of reasons, one of which is that it's massively scalable. Object storage scales without complexity because it was designed for that. Object storage is the storage type of the cloud for exactly that reason. All of the major cloud providers use it because its ability to grow on a flat namespace that continues to provide performance and durability as the environment grows. Also, it includes native S3 compatibility. Many of the AI tools, such as vector databases and video analysis tools, are designed to work with S3. That was the way they were written. Cloudian offers native S3 compatibility that works with all those tools out of the box, as opposed to having some kind of a translation layer. Also, there's embedded metadata. The ability to embed rich metadata with the object means that you can now search and you can find that data quickly. And it's secure. We can implement RDMA without any kernel modifications, as opposed to file, which does require kernel modifications that may introduce security vulnerabilities. And finally, it's cost effective. Because it's a single software image operating on conventional server hardware, it provides the simplest way of scaling with the least amount of hardware, therefore providing the most efficient and most cost-effective infrastructure. Now, a question you may hear is, isn't object storage slow? And the reality is that's old news. Object storage is fast. It's specifically Cloudian because we offer all-flash appliances. We pioneered RDMA, remote direct memory access transfers, with S3. We pioneered this with Nvidia, providing over 35 gigabytes per second of throughput per node with linear scalability. So as you need more performance, you can simply add more Cloudian nodes. Performance scales linearly with that growth. The reality is that file storage simply does not scale very well for large volumes of unstructured data. So how do you make use of that vast amount of enterprise documents and audio information that's available? Well, object storage provides that path with an easy to manage, scalable, low-cost repository that's both fast and reliable. So let's look at some of the differentiation versus other storage types. Versus file, Cloudian starts small and scales smart. From pilot to petabyte, it grows seamlessly on one platform. It's a single AI storage platform, which means you can consolidate your data to the simplest possible environment. It requires no kernel mods, so there's no security holes being introduced. And it's cost effective, with a single software layer running on conventional server hardware. Versus other object stores, it offers performance beyond any other vendor. We've co-engineered and validated with Nvidia performance solutions that you can read about on our website, demonstrating great throughput and great enhancement of performance and AI workflows. And finally, it offers enterprise-proven resilience with large-scale deployments around the world since 2011. And then finally, versus cloud, you get enterprise security and sovereign AI, which means that all of your enterprise data is retained inside your data center behind your firewall with zero cloud dependencies. So what are some of the objections you're likely to hear? Well, one possible one is that object storage is too slow. That's simply old news. Hyperstore is faster than many of the widely used file systems in use today, with many enhancements engineered with Nvidia, providing over 35 gigabytes per second of transfer per node, scalable linearly as you grow the environment. It's fast enough to meet the needs of any AI workflow. A second question you might get is, hey, if I already have file storage, why would I use object? And it's simple. It's for the scalability and for the cost effectiveness. These are the same reasons why all the enterprise cloud providers use object storage as their main storage repository. A third objection you might hear is, I'm a storage person. I don't work with the AI team. Well, AIDP is storage with embedded AI and a solution that delivers instant value from the storage environment to the rest of the organization. We're happy to meet with your AI team to further flesh out and develop a solution. But whether you're in the storage environment or the AI environment, you can deliver value to your organization with the storage that understands your data. Now, what if the data you already have is stored elsewhere and you want to bring it into this environment? How do we accommodate that? We include a data ingester tool with AIDP that makes that simple. Another question might be that we're not running AI on premises, only in the cloud. Well, hyperscale AIDP works in the cloud as well. Whether it's at a managed service provider or at AWS, we can run the AIDP software stack in that preferred infrastructure to provide value, whether on-prem or in the cloud. And then lastly, what if your customer is still filling out their AIDP strategy? This is very common these days as people are looking for solutions. They're kind of formulating their plans along the way. Well, AIDP is the perfect stepping stone to dive in. And the reason why is that A, it's a fully configured solution, so you've got zero development risk. And B, it's building on an ecosystem of Nvidia solutions, both software and hardware, that are going to continue to grow over time to continue to deliver value from this infrastructure. This isn't a point solution. This is an ecosystem that will continue to evolve and continue to add value and deliver benefits to your organization. So how do you identify customers that are right for Cloudian hyperscale AIDP? Well, obviously look for people that have known AI initiatives. They're searching out information on AI. Or they're aware of the challenges of moving forward with AI, particularly if they're in industries where that data is confidential, such as financial or healthcare. Or maybe they need real-time access to information and interaction, such as in a factory floor environment or in some kind of a security/video surveillance environment. Look for funding. Where's a customer got an initiative that he's spending money on and has an investment already underway in AI? And finally, ask if they're familiar with the Nvidia AI blueprints. If they're familiar with these blueprints and they're looking for an easy way to implement them, Cloudian hyperscale AIDP is the perfect path forward because it is the solution on the market that is fully integrated with end-to-end support. The beauty of this is that no matter how the customer decides to deploy the solution, there's a solution that'll work for him. You can deploy on-prem using your own hardware. You can deploy at a managed service provider where Cloudian supplies the software and the support. Or you can deploy in the public cloud, such as AWS. In any case, it's the same software, the same ecosystem, the same level of Cloudian support and service. However it's deployed, you get the benefit of the seamless scalability. This is designed to start small and then grow with complete reuse of all components as you scale. You can start small with a simple bundle that consists of a single GPU server and a single node of Hyperstore. The simplest, easiest way to get going. And then grow from there to configurations that include more storage, more GPU servers, redundancy, whatever level of performance is required. It's all sized based on the performance and storage requirements of the environment, so you can start small with a small workflow and then grow over time to accommodate more use cases, more workflows, and more performance requirements. From a competitive standpoint, Cloudian hyperscale AIDP really stands alone. While there are other storage companies talking about AIDP-like solutions, the reality is these are reference architectures only. Only Cloudian is offering a fully integrated stack, including software, hardware, and support, all in one solution. And then versus the public cloud competitors, we offer complete data sovereignty on-prem. Your customer should recognize that the cost of doing nothing around AI is that ultimately those public cloud providers will be the default option. Users will go to the cloud with confidential information from the company as they seek out AI answers. and that information can ultimately be used in training by those public cloud providers. So recognize that your customer has a risk of doing nothing and everything to gain by moving forward with Cloudian Hyperscale AIDP. So to sum this up, let me just repeat the basic message here, which is this is a solution that transforms decades of institutional knowledge into instantly accessible AI insights. It gives your customer an AI superpower right out of the box through a familiar chatbot interface and lets him deploy enterprise AI in hours on-prem without months of development time, without the risk, and without the cost of DIY. This is a solution for AI that maintains complete data sovereignty and provides a pathway to the future with an ecosystem that is guaranteed to evolve, develop, and continue to further deliver value over time. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Really appreciate your support.